Thanks for staying with us. I'm Terry Springs, and this is Talking Solutions. Paul Milakeve is in studio with us from United Blood Services. What are you guys up to?
March is March Movie Month for us at United Blood Services.
I saw that on your website, and I've heard it on the radio. So with the donation, people actually get movie tickets.
Yeah, we have a pretty robust rewards program for our donors, and every time you donate, you get rewards points. So for the month of March, we are rewarding our donors with enough rewards points that they can actually redeem that for a movie ticket. And the great thing is that they're able to go and choose the actual theater that they're going to use the ticket at. So it just makes it easier to not constrained to just one particular group of theaters.
Movie tickets kind of expensive these days. That's not a bad premium.
It's not a cheap date anymore to go for dinner and movies.
No, that's like win-win. You get some of the blood supplies that we need here in the Las Vegas area. In return, that person not only gets the good feeling for donating blood and taking care of saving some lives, but also gets free movie tickets. Not so bad.
It's a win-win situation in my book.
My primary doctor sent around some stuff on Facebook, and there were a couple of stats that came out of her message. It said Las Vegas residents alone require 250 units of blood on an average day.
250 is the number that United Blood Services needs on a daily basis to provide the hospitals and medical facilities that we serve here in the Valley. So it's pretty consistent. It's anywhere between 250 to 300, but you never know when that serious accident is going to happen or where the need is going to suddenly increase for whatever reason. So we just have to make sure that we constantly have that coming in. Generally speaking, we have about a 2 to 3 days supply of blood on hand to be able to accommodate any of those specific situations.
What is the shelf life for a blood donation?
42 days.
And we have 2 or 3 days.
Yes.
So we're always kind of operating on the edge. It's not what you want, I'm sure. I'm sure you'd love to have 42-day supply of blood all the time, but it just isn't working that way.
That is correct. And there's a lot of math and statistics involved. Obviously, we don't want to over-collect, so we don't want to have a whole bunch of blood just sitting on the shelves waiting to be used. We want to make sure that as we collect it, we want to respect our donors' time and their efforts, that if you donate blood, that it's going to be used. So we do try to keep a pretty close lid on what we expect we're going to need between what we collect, so we can constantly bring that in so it's constantly available. But at the same time, we don't want to have it and then collect it and not need it.
In the back of my mind, I'm wondering, have you ever had too much blood?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah,
so,
I'm thinking that probably is kind of unlikely. I always hear about the same percentage of people in the population who become blood donors. 6%, 5%. Does that number ever really waver? It just seems to be about that big a portion of our population steps up and donates blood.
Yeah, it fluctuates depending on the state and the city. So I think overall you're looking at about 6% of people in the U.S. donate, but here in Las Vegas it's a little bit lower, which is pretty much the trend in more major metropolitan cities because people are busier, their schedules are heavier, so it's a little bit tougher for them to get out. So here in Las Vegas, you're looking closer to about 3% of the population that donate blood.
That's important to know. One of the things that was brought to my attention a few months back, I just didn't really realize it. Now it's top of mind. Not only is United Blood Services and people who help supply these very necessary products, not only are you serving the community, you're also serving the visitors, and we had 41 million plus last year.
Absolutely. Mind you, we do service UMC, which is, our only level 1 trauma center here in Las Vegas. So oftentimes when you have these visitors that are in town and they come across some unfortunate accidents or whatever, that's usually where they end up. And so the blood that we collect then goes to help them out.
It's interesting you would mention UMC because that's where I got the information about us also servicing our very large visitor community when that unfortunate circumstance arises and they need a blood donation.
Absolutely.
Funny that would come up. Yep. UMC is exactly where I got my information. Paul, thinking about the fact that we have a very small percentage, you're saying for Las Vegans, 3%, around that?
Around 3%.
Most of the people who are listening to our talk today on Talking Solutions, by the way, we are talking with Paul Milakeve from United Blood Services. Most of the people hearing us today, they're not blood donors. They haven't done this, so they're probably not familiar with the procedure. And you were talking about how people in cities like Las Vegas are busy and it's hard for them to find the time. Would you fill us in on what exactly is involved? Because I think maybe blood donation is easier than a lot of people realize.
Absolutely. First of all, you have to remember that any time that you're donating blood, blood, obviously that blood is going to patients that are in need. So you can only imagine some of the consequences and some of the situations that they're dealing with and actually needing this transfusion. So if you're looking to donate blood, the process is going to take about an hour. So you're spending an hour of your time. You could possibly save up to the lives of 3 different individuals that are in the hospitals because we separate out the components. And it's a relatively simple process. You come in, we'll do a health history questionnaire, we'll test some vital signs, make sure that you're healthy enough. And that process takes about 20 minutes or so. If everything's good there and you're healthy, then you'll donate blood. The actual blood donation itself will only take about 10 minutes. And then when you're done, we ask you to sit around. You have some cookies, some juice, pretzels, and you get to sit around for 15, 20 minutes or so just to make sure that your body's reacting fine to your donation before we let you go. I always talk to donors, and what we find is that the most painful part about the whole process is not the actual blood donation itself, but it's the iron test where we actually just take a little drop of blood from your fingertip.
That's the hardest part?
That's the hardest part of the whole process there, because your fingers are a lot more sensitive because of the nerve endings. Just think, when you get a paper cut on your fingers, that's about the most pain that you'll experience during the blood donation process.
I got a little tip for everybody. I just close my eyes, look the other way, and just talk nonstop.
Yes, there's a lot of techniques to it, and we're pretty good at least letting you know and giving you that warning, like, hey, we're going to insert the needle now, so if you want to look away or keep yourself distracted, that's fine. One thing that is important to know that when you're donating blood, especially for the first time, it's a lot different than going to your doctor to get blood drawn for tests and stuff, where they're drawing a couple of tubes. When you're donating whole blood, we're taking a pint, which is, a pretty significant amount. So you just want to make sure that you prepare yourself for that, and the best way to do that is to make sure that you're well hydrated and that you have yourself a nice hearty meal about 2 hours ahead of time to make sure that your body is full and well hydrated.
And you've got us in a comfortable position, I'm sure. You got us laying down, relaxed, and you make it as easy as possible, don't you?
We try to, and that's one of the reasons why we have such a large mobile blood drive team. What we like to do is go out into the community to reach our people to make it easy for you, so you don't necessarily have to come to one of our 3 fixed sites, but we'll go out into the community where you work, where you play, where you go to school, so we can make it easy so it's less of a burden out of your daily schedule. Because if we can make it easier and convenient for you, then hopefully it'll be more likely for you to stop in.
That goes back to what Paul was saying a few minutes ago about how busy we all are, and we need to take about an hour of time total to be able to give these very important blood donations. You just can't even imagine the situations where at this moment right now, there's a need for blood. It's not like you can go, let us run out and get some. It doesn't work that way. We've got to have it ready to go. But they try to make it as easy as possible. The mobile sites that you're talking about, those really are useful because, as you mentioned, you've got 3 different fixed locations for going to United Blood Services to give a donation, or you're out all over town all the time, right, doing blood donation drives, and we can find out which one is nearest us by looking on the website.
Yep, you can just always go to unitedbloodservices.org and type in your zip code, and it'll show you all of the local blood drives that are close to you. And as it is right now, about 60 to 65% of the blood that we collect locally is done out of our mobile blood drive efforts. That's a pretty intense collective group of people that help us with that, because not only are we relying on the volunteer blood donors, but we're also relying on volunteer blood drive coordinators and actual contact at that location that's willing to help facilitate and get that set up for us. We find that that's our most effective tool in trying to reach new donors and introduce new people to the process, when we actually have somebody there on the ground that can advocate for us and help twist their arms a little bit. Say, hey, I'm organizing a blood drive at my work. I want you to come and donate blood, and I'll sit there and hold your hand for you. So it's really, really rewarding to see the efforts that go into making these things successful.
When we work together, it makes a huge difference. I know that Las Vegas, as you were saying, needs 250 units or more each day. Do you ever take time to calculate how much blood you get donated every year or how much you need on an annual basis?
We do, and unfortunately what happens oftentimes when you're involved in the actual collection of it, making sure that your needs are met, sometimes it's hard for us to stop and just visualize how important that really is and how much that means to others. So we're fortunate enough to be able to work with recipients and blood donors and volunteer mobile blood drive coordinators and talk to them and hear their stories. But what our blood donors don't get is the blood donors themselves oftentimes don't get to hear the stories from the actual recipients, right? When you go and donate blood, you're doing it knowing that you're helping somebody, but the chances of you actually looking in the face of that person is very minimum that will ever happen. So you're just kind of stepping out knowing that it's happening. So we have to advocate for that and just remind people that when you're donating blood, that's human lives that you're impacting. when you do the numbers and you calculate 250 a day, that's close to 6,000 a month. And so you're looking at 90 to 100,000 units of blood per year. That's 90 to 100,000 blood donors that come through our doors, 90 to 100,000 recipients in the hospitals and medical facilities that have been impacted by that. And that's pretty enormous when you think about it.
The need for blood supplies never takes a day off. That's an ongoing, everyday issue.
Yep, the need is there. It's constant. It's every day. It doesn't take vacations. It doesn't take holidays off. So one of our tough battles is making sure that we constantly have that coming in. So despite what our busy schedules are, when we get caught up in doing extracurricular activities, holiday parties, and doing other things, we just need to remind the community that the need is constant. Most often when you need a blood transfusion, it's going to come at a time when you don't expect it. So it's hard to prepare for that. And so that's what our job is, to make sure that we're prepared to have that available for you when you need it.
Part of us being a community is looking out for each other. And when you are a part of the blood donation process, Paul, we just told everybody how easy it is to do and how you try to make it as convenient as possible, especially using the mobile blood donation units. Once you're in the system and you start donating blood, how often can you give a pint of blood?
What we recommend is that once you're donating blood, that if you can donate 3 times a year, so that's every 4 months, then that would really help eliminate our need to be so aggressive in trying to reach out and recruit new donors. Because right now, the average blood donor will donate 1.2 times, I think is the statistics. So if everybody that we have in our system is donating 3 times a year, it would really help cut down the efforts on having to bring new people into the system.
That doesn't sound like so much. 3 times in a whole year?
That's 3 hours a year. It's not a whole lot, but, there's the prep time involved in that. And let's face it, donating blood is not something that everybody's going to take to. Not everybody is qualified to do it. There are requirements. There's iron levels, there's height and weight restrictions, and other things that may disqualify you from donating. So there is a large percentage of the population that's just disqualified anyway, that just can't do it, even though they do want to and have the intent to, but they just can't. So for those that are healthy and are qualified, it's more important that we try to do our part and do it as often as we can.
You're talking about not everyone being able to donate. I don't think we've actually said what the requirements are, because we've got an age and a weight requirement. What are those?
With United Blood Services here in Nevada, you do have to be at least 17 years old to donate. If you're between 17 and 22 years of age, there are some additional height and weight restrictions, but generally speaking, you have to weigh at least 110 pounds at a very minimum. And then if you're under 22, there's some additional restrictions on top of that. The big thing is that if you've received a tattoo within the past year, that will probably disqualify you depending on the city and state that you got it performed in. And then we test your iron levels. Your iron has to be at a certain level in order to donate. We do test your heart rate, your blood pressure, so all of that has to be fine. And then there's, certain travel restrictions. If you traveled somewhere where you may have been exposed to potential risk of catching malaria, you would be disqualified for a year. Certain European travel may disqualify you. Certain medical conditions may disqualify you. So there's a whole list of different things that could disqualify you, but the general overall qualifications: at least 17 years old, at least 110 pounds, in general overall good health, no tattoos within the past 12 months.
Most people would fit these requirements, I know. It's about an hour of your time to help out United Blood Services, and you mentioned that your blood donation can help up to 3 people?
Yes, because when you do a whole blood donation, your blood consists of red blood cells, plasma, and platelets. And each one of those products is used for specific purposes for specific patients. So what we do with United Blood Services, we take that blood donation and then we separate out the components. So each one of those components can be used for somebody different that has a different situation. So up to 3 lives impacted with 1 donation.
That's pretty great. I love the slogan, "Find the hero in you." That's pretty much what you're doing. When you step up and you give of yourself and give a donation of blood, it's not tough. It doesn't take a long time. It's not as inconvenient as you think. You're well taken care of, and you really do make a difference.
Absolutely. We like to really look at our donors as heroes because they are truly saving lives. And at the end of the day, that's what being a hero is, sacrificing yourself for the life of somebody else. And so we try to make it as fun as possible. We try to make it as easy as possible. And of course, we like to try to reward our donors, which is one of the reasons why this month we're offering the March Movie Madness promotion, where we're offering you the additional points that you could redeem for movie tickets. We want to show you that we appreciate the time and effort that you're doing in order to help us fulfill our mission of making sure that we have blood supply available for those in need.
You give, you get back. It's a nice win-win situation. So movie tickets this month that you can get with your United Blood Services donation. It's easy to do. If you want information, any kind of questions, answered on the website. Find out where a blood drive is near you, so it's really convenient.
UnitedBloodServices.org.
Gotcha. You talk about the rewards points that you build up by being a blood donor.
I can't really describe how amazing it is to see the type of support that we receive from our community. We're very fortunate here in Las Vegas that we do have a lot of resources. We do really try to get a sponsor for each month to offer some type of great gift. So this month, in addition to the March movie month, we're also offering all of our donors a voucher for a 2-for-1 ticket to see Island Heat Luau, which is at Kahunaville in Treasure Island. It's a dinner show, so you get a 2-for-1 admission to see the show, and then the dinner would be sold separately if you want to enjoy that. We do have some great support from some great sponsors each month to make sure that everybody is rewarded for their donation.
We have great shows and great entertainment and great opportunities in Las Vegas. I mean, we're the best spot in the world for that, and they step in and they also assist you with United Blood Services. That's part of us all being one community.
Absolutely. We love the support and we're touched by it.
It's a great cause. It really is. You could really, really help your community by just being a donor to United Blood Services. Lots of blood drive opportunities. They'll make it easy for you. It only takes about an hour. You'll get some rewards out of the process. So why don't you think about it? UnitedBloodServices.org for more information. Paul Milakeve from United Blood Services, thank you for joining us on today's Talking Solutions.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Something fun's going on 1 week from today. You got a dog, you got a leash, come out and join us at the Wag-A-Tail Walk-A-Thon. Got a hold of a couple of our friends from the Las Vegas Valley Humane Society. Karen Lane. Jean Panaccione is here too. She's the one who gets the gift baskets. All the years that I've been involved with Wag-A-Tail, I've always considered it the biggest fundraiser for the entire year for the Las Vegas Valley Humane Society. That's still the case?
It is our biggest fundraiser, actually. It's just that as the years have progressed and other events have taken place, it's really hard sometimes to keep that up, and we've made some changes as well. Come out and have a great time. We think that's really important. It is a wonderful event. It's a walk and a morning for your dog. That's the way you should look at it. Everything's for the dogs. It's wonderful.
That's right. And if you have a dog, you're going to be walking the dog anyway, so why not come and join us? A lot of nice people, and it is gorgeous up there at Centennial Hills Park. I mean, I seriously drive across the valley to go to this because it's such a good time. Sunday, March 22nd. I'll be out there with 96.3 KKLZ doing a broadcast. Our other stations with Beasley Media Group are going to be involved, so you should join us. Our broadcast on Sunday the 22nd is going to be from 7 to 9 a.m. That's going to get you ready for the walk. 8 o'clock for registration, 9 o'clock for the start of the walk, right?
That's right.
It's kind of an annual thing. I've gotten the whole rhythm of it down. It goes really fast, though, when we started off. You know,
you're a pro.
I love what I do. This is not work. This is fun, and it's a fun event. What a great way to start your Sunday morning. Think about bringing out the dog. You want to sign up, you can do that on the website, lvvhumane.org.
All right, Terry.
See, I
She did her homework. We're impressed, Terry.
Listen, she's really good. Everybody wants to know if Terry's going to be out there.
Why aren't you on the committee?
I love to be involved with the event, and that's why I know your website, and that's why I know the park, and that's why I know the times, because it's really a fun, don't want to miss event. The walk part of it is only like a mile or so long.
Yes, it's a mile, and it's a really gorgeous walk up. There's a lot of luscious landscaping, so it's really very nice. You don't feel like you're walking that mile, and there'll be a lot of people walking it with you.
And then we'll get done with the whole walk segment, and we'll get into the other part. We've got games, and we've got prizes, and we've got raffles. Jean, you have lined up some stuff. I was hearing that it's at least $15,000.
Over $15,000 that we're going to be giving away in our raffle baskets and prizes throughout the event.
I got in on this last year. Sure, I'll buy some raffle tickets. I won a raffle basket. I was so thrilled.
And that wasn't planned.
No, if you're at the event, buy some raffle tickets. I remember last year there were show tickets and different entertainment baskets. I went for the one from Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. And I shared those gift items, like the dog treats and stuff that I didn't have a use for at that time. I gave them to people who had dogs. And I said, here, check out the stuff I got in this great basket. There are so many raffle baskets.
In the raffle baskets, they're all going to have show tickets. This year, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Journey concert at the Hard Rock in April. Ooh. So we're going to have Blue Man Group tickets to give away, tribute to the Beatles, the Comedy Club at Planet Hollywood, Divas, Chippendales, Mac King, Thunder from Down Under.
I like all these shows.
Oh, yeah. Menopause, the Vegas show over at the Planet Hollywood. So that's just some of the tickets. We've got more. We've got dining certificates from, over 30 restaurants. Fleming's Steakhouse, the Four Seasons Veranda Room, Brio Tuscan Grill, Buca de Beppo, P.F. Chang's, The Bootlegger, Elephant Bar, Red Lobster, Bahama Breeze. When do you want me to stop? Maggiano's, Carrabba's, Capriati's, Panera's, Miller's Ale House. Probably about 20 more different restaurants.
All these different local businesses are helping out because
Yes.
it's the Las Vegas Valley Humane Society. How could you not want to help animals?
One of our baskets, I'm going to call Mom's Day Off. It's going to have a $300 spa package from Elements for her, show tickets, window cleaning from Annie the Maid, car washes, a lot of dining. So, Mom, come on out and get that basket.
They are nice baskets.
Yes,
Now, I
yes.
remember, Jean, last year, the way it was priced, it was like $2 raffle tickets or $5. Is that the same way you're going to do it?
Yeah, we figured we keep it the same, $2 and $5, depending on the value of the basket. Each basket is worth about $500 to $700. Last year, our kids' basket was worth pretty close to $800. And the big baskets, which will be the show ticket extravaganza, that's going to be worth about $2,000. That's going to be show tickets and dining and some other stuff in there, maybe a spa package. The higher-end baskets will be the $5 raffle tickets. So we're going to have a bunch of a dog basket, a cat basket, girls' night out, boys' night out, kids' basket, Blue Man Group basket, Journey basket, just to name a few. So come on out and get some tickets.
You can get a basket for $2 or $5.
Oh,
This is
really?
the best deal
Yeah,
in
yeah.
town, seriously. What we're looking to do, of course, is raise as much money as we can with this event. It's the Wag-A-Tail Walk-A-Thon. It happens every year, but only one day a year. Coming up on Sunday, March 22nd at the beautiful Centennial Hills Park. We were out there last year. Karen Lane, could you fill us in? I know we're trying to raise as much money as we can for the Las Vegas Valley Humane Society. What do you do with those dollars?
Rescue, rehabilitation, rehome, and a reduce in animal population. So our big effort right now is really in terms of spay and neuter. We try to help people with their owned animals. If they can't afford to get their animals spayed and neutered, we will work with them. And we'll also work with people who are feeding feral cats and don't have them spayed and neutered. Because as you know, both the city of Las Vegas and Clark County have feral cat ordinances now that allow you to have registered colonies as long as the cats are spayed and neutered. And we do that spaying and neutering at no cost to the caretaker. So we really urge, if you're feeding, particularly right now when we're starting to see a lot of pregnant cats, if you are feeding that cat outside, give us a call at 702-434-2009 and we'll be more than happy to help you.
I'm proud of being an animal person because I think that the people who love animals just are the best people.
Amen to that. We are all volunteer and everyone is very passionate about helping animals. And a lot of people have been with us for a long time. We're all still committed. Sometimes we get really tired, but there's an animal out there that's got to be rescued. Somebody's going to speak up, and that's what we do. People are wonderful who love animals. There's no doubt about it.
You can help out the Las Vegas Valley Humane Society, and you don't even have to go out and rescue the animals. You can help just by being part of the Wag-A-Tail Walk-A-Thon, because the dollars that you help raise for the Las Vegas Valley Humane Society are going to do all those wonderful things that Karen Lane was just telling us about. Now, you said all volunteer organization. Maybe there's some people listening to us today who would like to get involved.
If they're interested in volunteering with us, go on the website, lvvhumane.org, and there is a volunteer form that they can fill out. We have a number of areas that they might be interested in and what hours they're available. Right now, we need transporters desperately, Terry. We have a lot of people that we help in terms of spaying and neutering that don't have transportation. We do provide transportation for those people. So we're always looking for people who can transport, or if they can transport feral cats in the morning. A lot of our volunteers do work during the week.
Just by driving an animal somewhere, taking care of something like that, you're helping out the Las Vegas Valley Humane Society. There are a lot of different volunteer jobs that you can do. You can also join in, be a part of the Wag-A-Tail Walk-A-Thon. Jean, you're holding some kind of note. What have you got? You going to tell me about something else you got?
Well, this was just some prizes that I'd like to put out there. We're going to give away some nice baskets for the top 3 pledge winners that come in with over $500 in pledges. The largest team that comes out will also receive a big basket of prizes. And the contest winners, we have 3 contests going on, and all those winners will receive a nice gift basket.
When you sign up for Wag-A-Tail, what is my cost to register to walk a dog?
Until March 16th, it will be $25. After March 16th, it'll be $30. And you can register at the event that morning. You don't have to go online.
And one point about that, though, that's for the person. There's not a charge for how many dogs you bring. So a lot of times we will have people who bring 2 dogs with them, or the really courageous people people who bring 3 dogs with them. And I want to make sure everybody understands that we don't charge by the dog. That's for the person who's bringing the dog.
One cost for me walking and however many dogs I can wrangle on the leash. We're good to
6
go.
is probably the limit.
That's only those professional dog walkers.
Or if you want to bring your little carriage, we have a lot of people who have the strollers with the smaller dogs in, which are just really adorable. They walk as well, or a lot of times people will hold their dog and they'll walk. So it's really cute.
Whatever works. Sign up on the website, lvvhumane.org. And then after the 16th, that last week before the event, it will cost you, what, $5 more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 25 and then 30, right?
25 now. 30 after the 16th.
That's right.
Then you talk about pledges. So tell me about that. Do I just need to get it out there, say, okay, I'm signed up, I'm going to walk Fido? We're raising money for the Humane Society.
What we want people to do is to pledge the walkers. So in other words, the more people you sign up to do that, then if you reach $500, the top 3 pledgers do get one of those big baskets that Jean's talking about. So there are pledge forms available online, and even if your friends can't come, they can help you win one of those baskets by donating to your effort to walk. So we think that's really important.
I've seen a lot of baskets in my time. These are the best raffle baskets ever. I'm just saying.
We're very proud, and thanks to Jean.
You work really hard at
She
this.
works very hard at that.
I have a phone growing out of my ear. No husband. He left home already.
You weren't going to pay attention to him anyway.
No.
I'm busy on the phone. I got to get stuff for the Wag-A-Tail Walk-A-Thon. Oh, my. So we do the walk. It starts at 9 o'clock, so registration at 8. This is going to happen on Sunday, March 22nd at the beautiful Centennial Hills Park up northwest. You should come and join us. Bring the dog or dogs on a leash. Get yourself signed up for the event. Start raising some pledges and some money so that you can get one of those killer baskets for raising the most money, having the biggest team. You can buy raffle tickets and win that way. After we get done with that little 1-mile walk, we got some games and stuff lined up, don't we?
Oh, yes. Jean's come up with some great games, and our big one is always the waggingest tail. After all, this is the Wag-A-Tail Walk-A-Thon, so that's one of the games, and some new ones this year.
We're going to do musical chairs with your pooch, and that's when Elvis, Page Poole, is going to come out and sing "You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog" for the musical chairs, and then the last person standing will be the recipient of a nice basket. We're going to crown a king and queen of the walk, and those winners will also receive a nice prize basket. I don't know what the rules are yet. We're still working on that, but we are going to have a king and queen of the walk this year for the first time. Vegas Velocity racing teams coming out and going to do a demonstration for us. Then right afterwards, participation. If you think your dog can do, it's a little course. They run down a course, go to the end, hit a board. When they hit the board, the ball pops out, and then they'd fly up in the air, catch the ball, and I don't know what they do after that. They're finished, or they run around in circles, or they go back to the beginning, but that's the fly ball people. And then we're going to have the American Canine Training people come out, and they're going to demonstrate how to place your dog and make them stay in that position. And after that, there's going to be a question and answer period, any kind of general topic. They're going to answer questions for. So we're excited about that.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And we have lots of vendors there as well, so that'll be really nice. We always have the Southern Nevada Health District that comes out and talks about emergency preparedness. We think that's so important. We have a lot of vendors who've been there year after year and supported us. We have a number of veterinarian clinics that are going to be there. It gives you a chance to talk to some of the veterinarians if you've got particular issues. So it's just a very nice day.
We're also going to have low-cost microchipping for $20. You can have your dog microchipped and the registration filled out.
We're going to pack a lot of stuff into that Sunday morning.
That's why we have to be there at 5:30 a.m. setting up.
Yeah, you give me about another hour. My broadcast won't start till 7, so you'll be seeing me a little bit before 7.
Great.
We do this every year, and it's such a fun event. The Wag-A-Tail Walk-A-Thon.
This will be our 19th year. It's hard to believe that it's been going on that long.
Next year is our 25th anniversary for the Humane Society.
In terms of rescue organizations, that's a long time. Pretty amazing, actually. If everybody, as you point out, Terry, gets on board and spays and neuters their own animal, I think that's critical, and no one should say that they don't have the money. All they have to do is call us up, and we'll work with them to help them spay and neuter that animal. There are a number of low-cost veterinarians in town as well. So really, in truth, there is no reason for people not to spay and neuter their animals. Of anything that you can do on an individual basis, that's probably the most important thing that you can do to help the overpopulation.
Agreed. Why don't you raise some money for the Humane Society? Come out with your dog, your furry four-legged friend on a leash. Come and join us. It is Sunday, March 22nd, this year's Wag-A-Tail Walk-A-Thon, the 19th year.
I think you've been there for a good part of that.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of them. I'll be there this year. I'll be there next year. I'll be there anytime you need me to help with the cause. Amazing raffle baskets. If you want the information, get signed up beforehand, all of that, go to lvvhumane.org. That's lvvhumane.org. Karen, as far as the Las Vegas Valley Humane Society, if somebody was calling to talk to you about a low-cost spay or neuter or something like that,
702-434-2009. 434-2009. That's our hotline number.
you should come out and join us. The annual Las Vegas Valley Humane Society Wag-A-Tail Walk-A-Thon. And you've
Yes,
worked like
she
crazy
has.
to get these raffle baskets, more than $15,000 worth of prizes and games and fun. And Elvis is going to be there. How can you resist? Sounds like fun. I'll plan on seeing both of you ladies early on the morning of Sunday the 22nd at Centennial Hills Park.
We'll have coffee, don't worry.
That will help.
Coffee and donuts.
lvvhumane.org. Come and join us. And thank you so much for joining us today on Talking Solutions.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
Talking Solutions is a production of the Community Relations Department here at Beasley Media Group Las Vegas. Get more information on today's topic on our Talking Solutions page on Facebook, where you will also find links and a podcast of today's show. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.